By the time you finish watching this video, I want you to be able to distinguish between a fake helmet and a genuine helmet. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Omoyo Karaoke. If it is your first time here, please take that moment and press the subscribe button. And if you've been watching my videos, thank you very much and welcome back. A few days ago, I put a question on my IG live. I asked, what is the most important thing that you look for when you go out to shop for your helmet? I got a number of answers, and basically I could only categorize them into two. Majority of the people said they look for the certification mark to show that that helmet is certified for safety. And the other group of people said they look for a helmet that fits them very well without moving, without being uncomfortable, one that they can wear for long hours without a problem. There are many things to look for when you're buying a helmet. And if you haven't watched my video on how to shop for riding gear, please watch it. I'm putting the link up here. It will give you a more insight on all the gears that you need as a rider. Today's topic actually came from that question, and so I'm here to tell you about how to distinguish a fake helmet from a genuine helmet. So before we even get into the details of the 5 ways to identify a fake helmet from an original helmet, let me talk about 2 things. The first one is I would like to add this into the details or the things you need to know when you're buying a helmet. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video that I have made reference to, but in case I did not do it, the shape of your head also determines the size and the type of helmet that you wear. Some of us have a round face or round head, and others have an oval face or oval head, and those 2 heads will not fit into the same type of helmet or the same size of helmet. So it's always good for you to make sure that you fit in your helmet when you're buying it. If you have to order your helmet online, please be certain about these 2 things: the size of the helmet, which measurements you take, the circumference of your head, and the shape of your head, so that you get a helmet that fits you well and is not going to cause you problems, meaning being too tight or too loose. The second thing I want to mention, I would like to take you through the 5 types of helmets that are commonly used by bikers or riders. I was told bikers have a different meaning, so let's talk about riders. So there are 5 types of helmets that are commonly used by riders, and I'm going to put pictures here so that it's clear to you to be able to differentiate between these helmets. But of course, riders will be able to know them instantly by just hearing the names, but I'll still put the pictures up here. The first type of helmet we have is the modular helmet, and that's a helmet that I use. It's the one that opens from the front. I like it because I wear glasses and it's very convenient for me with the glasses. I don't have to remove the helmet or wear it or remove the glasses to remove the helmet, or remove the glasses to wear the helmet. I'm a bit clumsy, and so that process means that I'm gonna break my glasses at some point. So I prefer the modular. The second type of helmet is the full face helmet. This is mostly used by the people who race, but they're not just the only ones who use this type of helmet. It's commonly used by a lot of people, and a full face helmet does not open from the front. Of a full face helmet, you wear it from the top and goes in and covers the entire face. According to safety standards, the full face helmet wins the best in terms of safety standards. So if you're looking for a helmet to buy that has almost 100% safety standards, buy a full face helmet. The third type of a helmet is open front helmet, which means the entire face is open, and it may come with a windshield or no glass for windshield, and it's commonly used by people who ride riders who use cruisers or scooters. You will find most of the riders of those categories of bikes using the open face helmet. The fourth one is the half helmet. The half helmet means it only covers the top of your head. It looks more like baseball hat or something, and it only covers the top part of your head. That helmet is also mostly used by people who ride cruisers. I don't know why, but they love those two types of helmets. The fifth and the last type of helmet that is commonly used is the dual sport helmet. The dual sport helmet is popular with people who do long distance riding, travel, or do off-road riding, or a mix of both. It is similar to full face in terms of it doesn't open from the front, but it has a few different features which you can see in the picture right here. So now you know what kind of a helmet, you know the types of helmet out there, and so you will decide which kind of a helmet you would like to use for your own riding. Let's now go to how to differentiate or how to distinguish a fake one from an original one. I thought that this was not addressed in all the answers that came. Nobody talked about having bought a helmet that was fake, or being out in the market shopping and seeing some of these big brands that are well known for good quality helmets that have good safety standards. But again, you look at it and there's something that tells you this is not original. So this is what you need to know when you're going out there. I would also like to give a shout out to Paul Muhoro, who asked, how do I know that the helmet I'm buying is genuine, since I have nobody to test it for me at the shop or at the time I want to buy it. So the 5 ways I'm showing you to distinguish if a helmet is fake or original are ways that do not need a technical support, and you do not need testing equipment or a testing place to go through the technical test. These are ways you can actually just use your eyes and hands and be able to tell that this is a fake helmet and this is a genuine helmet. Number 1, once you decide what kind of helmet you want to buy, from the 5 that I have shown you, do a research on the various brands that you know that are good and you would like to buy from them. Normally, don't just pick one, not unless you have a very good experience with it. But if it is your first time, it's good to have a look at reviews from a few different that manufacture that kind of a helmet. There's always something unique about each brand. There's something they add in terms of safety that is not probably in another brand that makes it unique. So it's always good to read about a number of them. The first thing you need to do is check out their website. If, for example, you want to buy a built helmet, that's a helmet that we use, BLIT, go to the website. This built helmet is actually manufactured by Cycle Gear. So you go to the website of Cycle Gear and you're going to see that they have listed a number of different types or different models of helmets that they sell, and then pick the one that fits or the one that you're looking for. They have dual sports, they have full face, they have modular as well. So pick the ones that you're looking for and then go further and click on review and read reviews, and also check the technical, the manufacturer's details on the same. This way you'll be able to know how to identify a genuine built helmet from a fake built helmet. That's number 1. Number 2, counterfeiters are smart people, and so they will make sure that when they counterfeit a particular brand or product, they make it look as close as possible as the genuine one. That way they get your attention, and if you haven't done your research well, you're likely to buy a counterfeit product. So make sure you know your brand well in terms of the brand name. If it is a model type, how do they spell the name? How do they spell the model? Where do they place their brand name on their product? That this time it's a helmet. Where do they place the name? How do they spell it? Know these things so that when you get to the market, you're able to tell. For example, let me bring out my helmet. I told you I used this beard, and you can see how the name is spelled, and it has a circle around it. So a counterfeiter who wants to get your attention may probably spell the name build correctly, place it on the front correctly, but the circle will be missing. If you had not done your research and known how the manufacturer places their brand name, you may not notice that the circle is missing, and therefore you might buy a fake helmet without knowing. The other one is that all helmets come with vents. They have vents from the outside which go right into the inside, and these vents are for making sure you have air circulation in your head when you're riding. If you did not watch our IG live today, which is the 2nd of, is it the 2nd? 5th? If you did not watch our IG live today, which is 5th June 2020, we talked about riding and health, and you can find that IG live on my IGTV on the Instagram account at Wamoyo. And there are various topics we covered about health and riding, and I would really encourage you to make sure you watch that IG live. There's so much to learn from. So let's go back to the vents. So these are the vents at the front of my helmet, and at the back I have them here and here. A fake helmet will only show you vents from the outside, but when you open that helmet from the inside, which I'm just going to do now, I don't know if you can see it. So saying a fake helmet will only have the vents showing from the outside, but when you check the inside, you can see the vents continuation, that one and that one, to the inside, meaning the circulation of air is completed. A fake one will not have that and that, but a genuine one will have the outer vent aligned on the inside, and you can actually see them, and you can see those ridges that form the airflow, that give a good airflow. So in case you go to the shop and find a helmet that ticks all the boxes, the brand name is what you were interested in, the colors and everything else about this helmet fits to the specification that you read from the manufacturer's notes, but then you look at the vents and there is no continuity to the inside, like I have shown you, that helmet is fake. The other thing to know and to note about a genuine helmet and a fake helmet is the weight of the helmet. The standard weight of a helmet is around 1,550 grams to 1,600 grams. It's, however, very difficult for you to just know it by putting it on your palms. You probably need to weigh, but there's still a way to know. A helmet that is way lighter, way lighter, will definitely tell you that it is a fake one. The material that makes helmet is what results to that weight. So if the helmet is not made from that particular material, that is the material for making safe helmets, then it's made from probably plastic, or it's lacking some of the things that put the weight to that standard weight, and therefore you will feel the weight. I'll give an example. If you lift the helmets that come with a motorcycle when you buy a motorcycle, and you compare the weight with a helmet like mine, the difference is noticeable by just placing them on the palm of your hand. So that's one way of knowing it. We are now on the number 5 and the last one of the 5 ways of finding out if a helmet is genuine or fake. And this is what everyone who responded to my question talked about. Certification. Oh my God. So the certification mark This one, we have 3 types of certification. There's the DOT, which is American. We have SNEL, which is also American, used by the SNEL Foundation, I think. Yes. And then we have the EC, which is British. Now, the certification of a helmet will always be put at the back of the helmet. So it's good to know the positioning of the mark. And it will either have both or all 3. However, most of the helmets will come with a DOT, especially the modular comes with a DOT, because the EC, the British certification, does not certify a modular helmet. And then the full face helmet will come with DOT and ECE, and there are those that will come even with SNEL. But how do you know if the helmet has this mark at the back of certification for safety standards? How do you know if it is genuine or if it is fake? If a helmet has gone through the certification process, then it will have those details on the inside. There will be the testing details placed on the inside of the helmet. And also, another thing to know about a genuine helmet is that also the manufacturer's details will be on the inside of the helmet. One will be giving the certification details, a batch number, and another one will have the manufacturer's details. That tells you that the helmet is genuine. But if you just find the mark only and you don't find the details on the inside of the helmet, and also the other 4 items are also missing from that helmet, please do not invest your money on that. You will be actually investing on something that will not protect you should you have an accident. The other important thing to note is that fake helmets are not always cheap, and especially if they bear the big brands' names, they're not always cheap. There's this notion that if it is expensive, it's probably good, and the counterfeiters will always use that on us. Remember that the counterfeiters want somebody who has marketed, who has a good market share in the market, who has a good presence in the market, who the consumers believe in, and so they go for the big brands that you trust, or the big brands that I trust. So it's very difficult for a counterfeiter to come with a new brand and put it in the market. They really don't want to invest in marketing. They don't want. They want somebody to do this job for them, and that's why they will always go for these big brands who have done the entire job on the market, and they just reap from that. So I hope this video has given you some good information, and it's actually going to make your shopping for a helmet more comfortable and easier. If you're just starting to ride and you're not just looking for a helmet, you're looking to buy the entire of your gear, please make sure you watch this other video that I'm going to put up here. I talk about buying your riding gear from head to toe. And if you're also shopping for your motorcycle, your first motorcycle, make sure you watch this other video where I talk about the things you should know before you shop for your motorcycle. Until the next video, it's bye for now.